I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Fasten your seatbelts for one of the great divisional rivalries in the NFL. This is the first of 2 games between these teams this year, and you know it's going to be entertaining. It's the Giants going up against the Redskins. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the New York Giants and the Washington Redskins. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Allen has it, left side. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield across the 45.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space.
Let's go! Detroit! Detroit! Gone! Back 99 Philly, here we go!
Back to throw now on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Josh Doxson. And it's second down. Offensive starters time, Charles, for the Washington Redskins.
Let's look at Josh Doxson, the wide receiver out of TCU. Grew up in Fort Worth. His mom works at the university as a vice president. He actually went to Wyoming first, transferred back to TCU. And, boy, is he a high flyer. Throw it up in the air, he'll go up and get it.
Looking middle, and it's incomplete. And we look now at the defense for the Giants.
Jadeveon Clowney was the #1 pick in the NFL draft, and it was with good reason. An absolute athletic freak. Now he's trying to add consistency to his game.
Set! 3-19!
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And now another one thrown incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. And now it's fourth down. Now on fourth down, the 2014 NFL leader as a rookie in yards per punt, Tress Way on to kick it. Back deep, it's Odell Beckham. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Giants will get it now at the 20. On first and 10, here's Manning. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be a New York first. And they're going to go soft on the corners. Now it's the Chiefs' all-time leading rusher. It's Jamal Charles on the carry. A gain of 3, second down. This offense has a lot to account for, but at the top of the defense's list is OBJ.
I'm not sure how you really game plan for him because no matter what you do, he finds a way to uncover himself downfield. And the speed gets it from his mom, a former sprinter at LSU.
Manning to throw on second down. And it's caught. Kobe Flainer. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. And here is the Redskin defense.
Ryan Kerrigan is an example of bringing the best of you from college to the NFL and remaking your game. Terrific guy causing fumbles at Purdue, has done the exact same thing in the NFL, then lost weight and became an absolute terror rushing the passer.
Finding time. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. The reception good for 7. It's third down. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
Third down and 3. Manning going to try and throw on third down. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time with just punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. And the offense behind the chains here, a touch on 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Josh Doxson's got it complete. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. A huge play there for Washington. And even 40 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
He'll drop to throw. And this is incomplete. Marshall, the intended receiver. And it's third down. And if they want to keep this drive alive, they'll need 8 yards here on third down.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Back 99 Philly. Here we go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that is incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And it's 3-0 as the Redskins strike first. So a good snap, good hold, and that one's right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, Brandon.
This will be fielded at the 8. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And New York set to take the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ryan Kerrigan, he's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. Now Manning throwing on 2nd down. He sets to fire deep. No, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there.
I'm laughing to myself because I could just hear in film session. But, Coach, I was throwing to Odell Beckham Jr. Of course I thought he was open.
They'd love to go deep downfield to him, though. Such a threat.
Yeah, a rare incompletion because most of the time we expect him to actually come up with the catch.
To throw is Manning. He's going to try and go deep again. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. And it's a fumble. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns.
10 yards still left on second down. They'll come out in the pistol. Shift together here from the D-line. Now Marshall. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there to swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. Time running out here on the play clock. They'll look to throw here. Allen has it, left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, a 22.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Here's the first carry for Matt Jones. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Here's Marshall. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here. 3rd down now following the run. They'll set up a throw. It's caught. Jones. And the broken tackle helps lead to a 1st down gain. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's tight? Tight end right. What's tight? Tight end right. Hurry up. Over. All right, here we go.
He'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Josh Doctson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. New York set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Manning to throw on second down. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that at just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Trying to power it ahead with Watt. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. The offensive line and its ability to open holes in this defensive front, something they were confident they could create in this game. Got the job done there, picked up the first.
And something they wanted to do. Have we ever met offensive linemen that don't want to fire out and hit people? I mean, they love the running game. Guys want to do that. And when you emphasize it, practice it, and work on it, that gives you an opportunity during the game.
On first down, Manning. Going to throw right side here, complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Throwing on first down is Manning. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence. No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Manning to throw on second down. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field, to become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold. And that one was knocked away, and I think the defenders are going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him. And that was a play made by the defense, and it could have been a bigger one.
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
On 3rd and long. It's Manning. That is caught inside the 5. They needed 17, and they got 18. A defensive lapse there, and it's a 1st down.
Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense.
Brief break in the action here. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. They run it. It's Charles. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They'll send one of those 2 tight ends in motion.
Little motion now from the tight end.
Now they'll send a tight end in motion left. On 2nd down, here's Manning. That's caught at the 1. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
This defense hasn't let him in yet. They'll need to stiffen here. 3rd and goal from the 2. They'll let Charles try and get him in. That'll make it. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So it was a drive that seemed to go on for an eternity, forever. Our sponsors were probably saying, hey, we need to get our products in here on these commercials. But after all of that, 3 points is the result.
Yeah, it's hard to say who came out ahead there, isn't it? On one hand, you kept the defense out there a long time. But after controlling the ball for so long and just moving the ball incrementally down the field, a field goal seems like a bad result.
He's got time in the pocket. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. And now out come the Giants. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here. After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it, trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
To throw, it's Manning. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
3rd down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. Trying to lay one up deep. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Fielded at the 20. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Out to the left. It's complete to Dykson. possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And to the right side here, it's Allen. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a entire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. So as they take it over, we step aside. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good. So that would have been something from that distance, but to no avail. Comes up empty as we have reached the intermission. As we'll send you down the coast to Orlando, where we check in with our friend Larry Ridley and the EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry? So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. It's a short kick taken near the 18. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. And New York set to take the field. They're close. Game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess that in the locker room, they talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Throwing now is Manning. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It's a gain of 20 that time. And that'll be good for a Giants first. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
A first down carry here for Charles. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, Brandon, so much for halftime adjustments. They still can't get anything going on the ground. It may be time to loosen things up and start flinging it around a little bit.
Three receivers to the left, 1 to the right. To throw is Manning. Caught left side. It's Beckham. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on third down. From the gun on third down, Manning. He finds Beckham complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there. They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now Manning throwing on second down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it off to Jamal Charles there. Third down here. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver, and it's fourth down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here's the Redskins offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Throws left side, complete to Keenan Allen. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
He sets up the screen to Jones. Evades the tackler, and now some space. That one goes for 24 yards.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
For those who watch the game and want to question the courage of the guys who play on the corner, how about when you see a toss sweep coming your way, yet you still go into the backfield, get past the blockers, and make the tackle? That's big league.
Back to throw. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Back to throw here. Caught on the right side, Reed. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, Washington. Keith Marshall, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. It's good, and now it's an 11-point lead, 17-6. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
So 2nd and 10 here. Charles the lone setback. Manning now to throw. Over the middle to Beckham. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
Well, that's the kickstarter right there. Eli Manning finding his guy, Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah, it's a deadly combination, isn't it?
It really is, but what really makes it work is just how unflappable Eli is with his demeanor, able to maintain it.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Bashaud Breeland. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And they have possession. And they have it at the 38-yard line. And the Giants ready to come out now. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the roof. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. On 2nd down, here's Manning. And he will find his man on the outside. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4. So a ways to go here on 3rd and 10. They'll send Beckham alone to the left side. Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. He'll have the win at his back here in the 4th quarter.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
All right, so you needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal then maybe not exactly what they wanted, but it's a necessary first step.
Still plenty of time remaining, but you could really use a stop defensively after the kickoff, preferably a 3-and-out.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Allen alone to the right.
Let's go. 3-19.
comes the D swarming to the line. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Let's see if they can convert here on 3rd and 3. Play clock winding down. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And Marshall's got it. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up in the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
All right, here we go.
They'll set up a throw. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
One of the selling points of the corner route is usually the receiver is able to move away from the defender. But in this case, he didn't get that far away.
So the offense has it 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue, Landon, Leopard, Leopard. Detroit, Detroit.
They'll run with Marshall. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
There's so many things that go into playing the position of linebacker. Some of them are actually subtle. Doing the drill work that you do all the time in practice and carrying it over to the game. Get rid of blockers and get to the ball carrier and knock him down for a loss.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop him here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
6 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Oh, long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. They come out here in the eye. After the penalty, it's Jones. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So they're leading. They have possession of the football, and certainly this is where they just want to milk the clock. 1 man in the backfield. That's Jones. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Just keep the ball on the ground.
And now the Giants, they get the officials. substitution and take another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. Both the run and pass still in play here on 3rd and goal from the 3. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
There are certain drives in a game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
Throwing on 1st down is Manning. A dump off for Charles. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a 1st down.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Manning now on 1st down. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. And they're going to speed things up here. Back to throw. Surveying the field. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So the game-sealing play from Josh Norman. What a big one that was.
He's a guy that loves being the center of attention. And I think to play that position, you have to have that feeling because oftentimes you will be isolated out there against some of the best the game has to offer. And how about him finishing off this one with a game-clinching interception? And give him a lot of credit there, but even more credit to the guys up front. In that situation, you know it's going to be a stacked defensive front. And to be able to gain that much yardage, that's a big win for the guys on offense.
Yeah, they were just about standing on their own goal line, so to get a few yards there, a great start. Now we'll see what 2nd down brings. Jonathan Hankins in on the stop.
The end result was brute force on brute force. But think about everything that's going on if you're playing defensive tackle. You're dealing with at least one blocker across from you, trying to deal with him, shed him, and maybe even a second one before you have to try and make the tackle on the big guy.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Redskins, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Redskins as we say so long from FedEx Field.